It's been what? 1 day, 2 days? 1 day, 2 days since that piece of shit, Colleen Ballinger, decided to come back to the internet. And she's already breaking California laws right there, the fuck on her. I don't know what platform she's on, if it's YouTube or if it's like Instagram or something or fucking TikTok. I have no idea where people are getting um, these images from, but let me just first give you a background on what it looks like in California if you try and take something from the beach. This is an article from 2018. Eco tip: California beaches aren't there for the taking, by David Goldstein, special to Ventura County Star. Ventura County is just north of Los Angeles County, which is where I believe Colleen lives. But this goes for the entire state, you guys. Sand and rocks incorporated into landscapes use little water, create no waste, and are not flammable. Just don't take them from the beach. Kelly Say of Ventura, a recently photographed and reported to an officer a couple who backed their Ford F-150 up to the beach and started loading it with boulders. Oh my God, some people are such trash. As Say noted, this is very illegal, punishable by law, and it is super tacky. And the rest of the country is talking about how California is falling into the ocean. Give me a goddamn break with these people. She's right about the law. Tyson Butsky, a California State's Parks Ranger, sorry, I'm adding too many S's to the words here, my apologies, cited the California Code of Regulations, which bans gathering of any items, even shells, from beaches. Removing a rock is even worse. It is considered tampering with geological features. God damn, Colleen. Burned hillsides can regrow without our help. Take steps to avoid topsoil. Yeah, seriously, like we have cliff sides that are crumbly. We have beaches that are eroding away. Don't believe me? Go to Capo Beach in Dana Point, California, and you'll see that the lifeguard towers are actually on the parking lot, and they had to import giant boulders to hold back the ocean because all of the sand has eroded. And that was formerly a rocky beach. There are two exceptions, occasionally for safety reasons. Park superintendents post orders and issue news releases authorizing cobble collectors to remove up to 50 pounds of rock per person per day at certain sites. Okay, certain sites. Also, with permission from the California Coastal Commission, state crews sometimes move sand so they can secure lifeguard towers, which means they're just shifting shit around so that they can clear paths to the ocean for lifeguards. But basically, they create these mountains of sand for the El Nino years so that they don't flood local communities. Some people mistakenly think public agencies dump tons of rock on local beaches each winter. But they are actually seeing a natural ebb and flow. Rocks are exposed in the winter because of heavier waves, and sand flows in during the spring and summer, covering the rocks. Excessive sand can accumulate in some places as part of a legal settlement And the city of Ventura clearly clears sand regularly from the ends of Pier Point lanes and fronts of 15 homes. However, this sand is not available to the public. Instead, again, with permission from the Coastal Commission, the city uses it to enhance the beach by the Ventura Pier at Surfers Point and at River Haven, according to Joe Yonner, Ventura's environmental sustainability manager. My point being is that there are signs when you go to the beach that tell you not to do this. And here Colleen is telling her entire audience of children, oh, you should get into taking rocks from the beaches. That's a great idea, right? Okay, let's go to the video. I honestly don't know how somebody can be so obtuse that not only they had inappropriate relationships with their child fans, sent inappropriate, sexually explicit messages and pictures to their own fans, had the worst apology ever, followed up with the second worst apology ever, is now trying to get her base of fans engaged in illegal activity. All right.
When I tell you guys that I've ran here, if you could see my face right now, after watching the newest vlog by Colleen, I don't even know what to say. The woman is now obsessed with rocks, and I'm not saying rocks aren't pretty, and I'm not saying there's not a place in the world for a good bit of rock craft, but read the room. Read the room. Not only that, but this video is very much monetized because as I was watching, I was met with an advertisement. She also says at the very end that she's going to see us tomorrow maybe, so I don't even know. But what I was saying earlier in the sense that...
Yeah, Colleen, unless you come back out and tell me that you bought those rocks at Michael's and that your pictures on the beach were just totally unrelated. Right? Totally unrelated. But they weren't, were they? You were literally collecting rocks from the beach, weren't you?
She basically, her therapist was telling her that she needed to go and vlog as a way of, just healing and whatever she was going on about, trying to keep normal since, she was a vlogger of 15 years or whatever she wants to throw around. He is actually using those clips, which is kind of what I was feeling a little bit sneaky suspicious about earlier. She is using those clips as montages, and I just knew it. Gosh darn, I knew it. I knew that those clips would be used as a way of her to make content and make up for lost time.
I literally just got so distracted by this craft that I just stopped talking in the middle.
Yeah, look at what she's wearing at home, by the way. It has not been warm enough to actually even be at the beach since like September, you guys. I live in Southern California myself. I live in Orange County, which is the county below Colleen. She's in LA County. Ventura County is just north of her. So she basically put on like the skimpiest little hiking outfit. She wasn't going in the water. You can tell that much. There is no way she was going in the water. But she wanted to expose as much skin as possible to go to the beach on probably a 50 or 60 degree weather day.
Filming?
She's got the monetization on. She's also saying that she's going to fill us in with what's going on with her kids, which is like, why? Why are you dragging them into this mess? Why are you doing it? Why are you doing it full, like, point blank period? I don't even get it. Like, why would you bring your kids into this mess that you have created, but for some bizarre reason you're able just to get back on and act like nothing even happened? Like, where is the apology? Where's the apology to the people that actually need the apology? And don't get me started, right? Even on the video that I uploaded, I know it wasn't even that long ago, it was actually earlier today, beyond the point, the amount of people that came out of the woodwork, like, you know, like basically sticking up for her. And I'm like, are we living on the same planet? I don't get it. But anyway, she was going into a lot of detail about her rocks. She's very into rocks now. I mean, if you need a hobby and you want it to be
Definitely beach weather, right, Colleen? That's why you got, like, basically the same sort of hoodie I have on right now. Totally beach weather. What the hell are you even doing? Going to our California beaches and stealing our rocks. That's supposed to be a part of the beach. You're not supposed to take them home with you, girlfriend. You are not supposed to take them home with you. Just like you're not supposed to take home any shells or anything else. Oh my God. And you're telling all of your little child fan base that you manipulate and abuse to go to the beach and engage in illegal activity. Well done. Nice return to the internet.
rock collecting. Colleen is your woman.
It's boring. I'm Colleen. That's you, Mommy.
I do just think that this theme tune is making her seem quite childlike, which was kind of what her last ones were like. It's like playing on that little innocent thing. I know I'm being ultra cynical, but
Yeah, when I first heard that, when I was watching this the first time, I was like, no, that there's no way that's new, right? That can't be new. There is no way she would be positioning herself as Barney right now. But here she goes. Here she goes right back to trying to get a child audience. This chick is such a predator that it's amazing that she still has any platform to work with. This is crazy.
don't know. And she found the time to create a brand new theme tune complete with rocks.
Hi everyone. So today, let's talk about rocks. Because yes, I have recently become very interested in and obsessed with rocks. And without getting too much into it, basically a couple months ago, my therapist had recommended that I go get out of the house, basically. And
You know, with a theme song like that, can you tell me why you're talking about your therapist? Why are you straddling the fence again? Your audience is children, Colleen. Why are you talking about your therapist? This is the kind of girl that would go up in, I don't want to call her a girl. She's like in her 30s, right? She would go up to the Sierra Nevada and tell her fan base to start like pulling on the local foliage and taking samples with them and like going off the trail and forging new paths in the meadows. She's that dense.
actually have footage of it because at the time I was vlogging, not for anyone, I was vlogging just for me to ease myself out of vlogging every day. And it's funny to watch now because taking the situation that wasn't what I thought it was going to be and trying to find the positive in it ended up becoming like one of my favorite hobbies and one of my favorite things, which is funny now to look back on that. I'm gonna put in that clip of me at the beach right now for you guys to see. This is a few months ago.
She's saying that, you know, she's only doing it for herself and not for other people, but when she is vlogging at the beach, etc., it kind of seems like she is vlogging for other people. I feel like she pre-planned this. I feel like she knew that she would release this footage, and I just think it's tone deaf to the fact that during this time period, I know that she couldn't care less, it's quite evident, but during this time period, a lot of people were very hurt and upset, you know, had a lot of upset and hurt towards her, especially the people that, you know, had come forward, and, you know, even ex-fans that realise exactly.
Nobody on the beach. She pans out to the beach. There is nobody there. I bet if you zoomed in on her arms, you'd find goosebumps. She is so full of shit.
What has gone on. And I don't know, I feel like it's a weird thing, kind of uploading that time period. Am I alone? I just think it's a bit weird.
funny for me to watch now because I was like, I guess I'll look at the bright side and I'll just look at these rocks. And then it ended up being like one of my favorite things. I ended up finding rocks I thought were cool, and then I would be interested, what is this rock? And I'd look into what the rock was, and I found that there was this whole community of people, and this is something I love about the internet, and I've always loved about the internet. A lot of my life I felt like I didn't.
If she legit did all this research on the rocks that she was looking into, she would have undoubtedly come across California legislation that says you cannot take rocks from beaches. Come on, Colleen. You know you can't do this. And you're just like, but this is picturesque. It looks so good. And I have this cutesy new intro song that's going to appeal to children. And children like art projects, right? They like art projects. And then I'm going to start talking about my therapist, because that's what I did the last time around that was inappropriate. I invited all these children into my life so I could talk to them about how much I hated my ex-husband. So she's basically walking herself right into the same problem.
Have a lot of friends, and I was made fun of a lot for the things that I liked, and through the internet I found there's this whole community of people in the world that are like me and like musical theater and crafting and are interested in the same things as me and blah blah, and I found this community of people, and it's something I really like about the internet. I kind of rediscovered that in a time when I felt very,
yeah, like Hank from Breaking Bad. Oh, good job, dude.
very hopeless. I just saw online that there were other people in the world who were really obsessed with rocks.
Thank you. The pissy party. Now, I feel like Colleen plays into this character quite a bit, where she's always kind of portrayed herself as someone who's like, I think even in her own words, literally like a loser, and I don't mean that in a mean way. I'm pretty sure that's literally what she has called herself several times. And the way that she portrays herself is some.
I'm not a groomer, I'm just a loser, right, Colleen? Maybe you're both. You ever think of that?
That wasn't very liked, got picked on, did this and that. I feel like she mentions that quite a lot, but I feel like it's really manipulative at this very point to her audience. And I normally wouldn't say that about people, because I do understand that everyone has, different upbringings and different, I don't know, like the way that they were treated when they were younger and can have bad experiences and that,
Well, I think most people are raised to obey the law, right? That they're told that if you see a sign that says don't take anything from the beach, that you should actually follow those instructions, because usually it'll cite a penal code at the bottom of the sign. And if she's doing research online about this rock collecting, they would be talking about where are appropriate places to actually collect rocks. And it's not going to be California beaches. Not going to be California beaches, you guys.
a lot of people have experienced some form of bullying and feeling left out. But I feel like in this situation, it really stands out to me when she's really leaning onto that and kind of going, well, I was picked on and I was left out, or I was into this and that. I just feel like it's really manipulative in this circumstance, not in all. And then to say, when whatever she just said, when I was going through that stage of my life, it's like, just say it. Say what was going on.
Yeah, Eugenia Cooney does that too. And it's like, ladies, you're in your late 20s, early 30s, whatnot, maybe late 30s in the case of Colleen Ballinger. But whatever happened in your childhood is so far removed at this point that you can no longer use it as an excuse. If you haven't already been going through intense therapy for years for the kind of money that you make monetizing your channels, that's on you.
What went on? Why were people annoyed at you? Give us examples. I can't believe she is quite literally, she made one video yesterday and she is just back on that bankroll. She is on and she's using footage she's blatantly stored up, and she's making this whole thing about, oh, it was therapy. I did it for therapy. It's like, no, you did not. I'm not buying it. This has become a new story arc for her. That is the best way I can explain it. She is making this into a story arc. Just my opinion.
I learned so much. I loved watching videos of other people looking for rocks on the beach and like learning about what the different types of rocks. I was fascinated and so impressed with all of these really intelligent people who knew so much about rocks and fossils. I just really hyper fixated on it. The beach, looking for a rock that.
Yeah, you know what? I know a whole shit ton of information about Yosemite from going to vacation there about once a year as a child. But I also knew not to leave a trace behind and not to take anything with me, right? So it's not like I'm going to pick up a piece of granite, shove it in the car, and be like, I hope mom doesn't see it. You know, and by the way, Amy, thank you for being taking one for the team and clicking on this bullshit, because the rest of us don't want to give her any clicks.
Most people wouldn't even think twice about. And I'm like, what kind of rock is this? You can see the different banding and the different layers in it. My favorite type of rock is agate. Millions of years to form. Like minerals and like microcrystals inside of host rocks. And then form like bands, essentially. Different types of quartz, jasper, and I don't know. I just love it all. Most people would think it's ugly. And I just take it home and I like find the beauty in it, polish it, and make it even prettier.
I don't know if you could tell, but I was literally editing parts of that. It was like a fast edit. That was not edited by her. That was edited by me. No, I tell you what, right? I'm sorry. Call me a Scrooge. Call me a uncultured human being. I could not care less about whatever she just said. I'm really sorry for any rock lovers out there, mountain lovers. I'm sorry. I don't mean to offend you. I really don't care. I'm just bamboozled that the woman is back talking about rocks. She's off a rocker. She's come back talking about rocks and quartz and whatever she just said. And in a minute, she then goes in. I'm not going to bother playing it because it's nothing. I can't be bothered with it. She goes on to show us washing the rocks and the different ornaments she's made. And I'm like, I saw breezy. And then she then, ends it with a, well, I'll probably see you tomorrow. It's like, we're going to have more of this. We're going to have more. And tell you what, her audience lap this up. I'm telling you right now, her audience love this because a lot of them just love any single.
She's still surrounding herself in white too. You see that? She's got little white hearts on. She's in a completely white room. She's still trying to proclaim innocence here. It's really gross. This is, woman needs to fucking retire and do something else. She could be a media consultant. She could be a writer, but she needs to be the fuck in the background and not be up in front of people's faces like this, especially if she's trying to encourage children to commit crimes on California beaches. Oh my God. What a bitch, you guys.
Thing that she posts, but I just can't stand this manipulative, oh, I'm coming back, and oh, I'm just innocent, and I like my rocks, and yeah, poor me, because my therapist told me to do this, and it was really traumatic time in my life, and whatever she wants to say, and oh, I was really picked on and stuff at school. It's very, and I get it's a vlog, and it's supposed to be her orientated, but I'm just like, it just screams manipulation. It screams manipulation. And hey, I've not got an issue with someone who is into hobbies, who has a rock hobby. I don't know, anything. Honestly, under any other circumstance, you do you like rocks, you like this, you like that. I like some things that will probably bore the hell out of people. Everyone has their own interests, okay? We're all different. But this is a different kind of context. This is her literally coming back, acting as if nothing's happened, saved up all this footage, all this B-roll from the past however long, past months, and she's coming back and she's just trying to just carry on. And it screams manipulative, and I'm sorry, but it's true. She's got all the monetization on. My theory was right. She's just going to come on and upload every single day, probably until Christmas, because that will make her back her money, okay? It's not about the fans. In my own humble opinion, I don't think it's about her fans. It's not about her wanting to interact with other people. I think it is purely because she knows, which is a good point a lot of people did bring up, if you don't post for a certain amount of time, YouTube can take away your monetization, because you have to prove that you're actually working on the platform. You can't just have videos and then not upload in, like, I think it's between 6 and 9 months. It kind of depends. And then also the fact that it's Christmas, and Christmas earns creators, literally it can double and or triple the amount of money you get paid. It's really quite a lot. So that's no doubt in my mind, but I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't even need to say it. Everything I've just said, I just can't believe it. I wouldn't even normally post this late, but I just watched it. And I just wanted it to be like a follow-up from the video that I posted earlier, because I think it's really important just to point out that I just don't think it's right. And I really don't want people to think that I'm like coming after people who have a like to rocks or a hobby that's a little bit like obscure, because that's not it. It's honest.
Well, honestly, if they did, they would be smarter than that and know what the laws were in certain areas, and they wouldn't be trying to violate them. Anybody who actually is practicing this as a real hobby would know the limitations of where they could actually collect rocks. But, I've covered some various videos of people who claim that they're experienced campers covering like Yosemite Valley and stuff. And they end up out there on like motorized bikes on the horse trails. That's not fucking legal, you guys. You can't do that. You can't be going off the trail like that. The mountain biking is not allowed in national parks unless they had some sort of designated area, but that is not the case in Yosemite. The only possible place that I could imagine that they might allow mountain biking would be Badger Pass during the summertime, because that's the ski routes. But I don't even think they allow it there. That's actually something they do like up in Big Bear and shit. They don't do that in national parks. If this was a real hobby for her, she would know that what she's telling her audience is illegal. You can't take rocks from the beach, kids. I'm sorry to be that Grinch, but you can't. You cannot take rocks from the beach. You can't take shells. Can't take starfish. It's illegal because it's an ecosystem. And that's all part of the ecosystem. Those rocks help prevent erosion of the beach, of the cliffs, and everything else. And that's why they have to stay there.
Just this circumstance that I can't quite believe that I just sat through, like, I don't know, how long was it? 14 minutes worth of her talking about rocks and being a bit, playing pissy passy. I'm just not buying it, and I'm not buying what she's selling, and I don't want it. And that's pretty much all I wanted to say. Thank you so much for watching this short video.
And thank you, Amy, for covering it, because most of us don't even want to click on her channel. We don't want to give her any sort of monetization, and she's so gross. And for those of us that are parents, grandparents, whatnot, we worry about people like that reeling our kids in with stupid ass bullshit like that under the pretense that it's like an arts and crafts project. God damn, dude. Oh, I just love the rock so much. So let me glue it to another rock on this project that I want. Whatever, Colleen. Whatever.